All right, Johnny Wonder here with golfwrx.com. So, you know, in the first video I talked about the quest to qualify, you know, my experiment, my personal experiment, how as a 42-year-old guy with 2 kids, full workload, like how was I going to find a home remedy to get my game in shape to where I'd actually qualify for a tournament I've wanted to play in for years. So part of the component to that is finding a management piece, and I stumbled upon this genius, Mike Yagley from Cobra at the Floridian in Florida. And we sort of started talking about, you know, Cobra Golf and Cobra Connect and Arcos as a self-management, game management tool. So I kind of pitched you the idea. Now we're here.
Here we are.
So why are you here? Why do you believe in the story?
Well, first, thanks for the genius plug, even though it's totally uncalled for.
That's part of the deal, but
yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, it's because the system, Cobra Connect, Cobra Arcos, does exactly what a player like you, and actually I would say any player who's trying to improve their game dramatically, works. It just flat out works.
Right.
Imagine, for the people who don't know how it works, imagine you've got a sensor in each club that when you hit it, it sends a signal to your phone, which is in your pocket, or soon to be your watch on your wrist, okay? And potentially, in the very near future, not potentially, it's going to happen, there will be a small device on your hip that you could use. Any one of those three sends you a GPS location for that club in that moment in time. Hit your drive, you walk out, let's say you hit a pitching wedge in the middle of the fairway, location there, then does it again on the green, ends up sending a breadcrumb trail all around your round.
Right.
So after a couple of rounds, you have learned how far you're hitting each club in the bag. Are you using each club in the bag? Which clubs work best for you, like knocking it on the green?
Right.
Right? Where your strengths and weaknesses are. You're going to get a strokes game based handicap for driving, approach, chipping, sand, and putting. So for a guy like you, you're going to really understand your game.
Well, at this also I've noticed at this point it's an ego manager too, because it's like I have the narrative in my head that I hit my 7-iron 170, for example. According to the app, which I've used like 4 or 5 times now, that's not the case. Like on average, I hit my 7-iron, say 161. So like that's information that I need, especially if you're going to go out and try to shoot a number at a golf course on a specific day. Like I need to know that information. And it's also identifying the things in my game that are patterns, things that I really need to work on. So when I'm at home, because part of this is, it's a home remedy, I live in Toronto, in the snow, limited time to practice, I need to pinpoint where I'm going, what I'm going to work on. Yep. This app allows me to do that. And, you know, it's uncanny because you have an idea about your game, but you know, reality versus perceived reality, and that's what Arcos has actually done for me is bridge that gap.
We call it a cognitive bias.
Okay.
And what you mentioned about your 170 versus reality of 161 is true for almost every player. Right? They might think they hit their 8-iron 152 yards. They really hit it 145 yards.
Right.
And that difference doesn't seem like much, but that's the difference between, in some cases, a par and a double bogey.
Right.
The difference between winning and losing. And that's massive. And once people like come to grips with the reality of how far they hit each shot, here's what they do. They club better. They end up hitting it closer to the pin. And what happens when you hit it closer to the pin?
You score lower. Better.
Yeah, you just do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to ask you that there's another component to this, which is Cobra, which has been very supportive, Cobra Puma, and your team with Rachel and Jose and Luke and everybody that's kind of been involved in this whole thing since day one. You know, a component of this is Cobra equipment. Yes. And, you know, there hasn't been any pressure to stick a bunch of clubs in my bag, but, you know, ultimately I was able to try a bunch of the equipment. And the cool thing for me is, you know, your driver did make it in the bag. I've tested everything, and that's the one that's going to land in the bag.
Like, it works.
You know, and you know what I'm also noticing, and I kind of need to hear it from your mouth, is it's like you said it to me in the first initial meeting. It's not about what's in your bag and how you go about it. Like it's about we want you to play well. Yes. And I think coming from an OEM and a big company, like obviously, like we want 15 clubs in your bag, but that's not the spirit of this thing. Which I think is I think it's a testament to the people at Cobra and Puma. So why did you say that as a question?
Well, you know, it's funny. We said it to you, and we're also saying it to all golfers. We truly want you to play the best golf you can possibly play. Have the most fun on the golf course. You know, whatever it is. For you, you're trying to qualify for a very big tournament.
Yeah.
For your average golfer, it could be, I just want to play good on Saturday and beat my buddies and take $10 from them.
Right.
Okay? So just like with you, where we're saying, put as many Cobra clubs as you want in the bag, just go play good golf.
Right.
Right? We're doing the same thing, say like with the F9 irons this year. So if a consumer buys a set of F9 irons, we're going to give them enough Arco screw-in sensors or Cobra Connect grips with sensors in them for the rest of their non-Cobra Golf clubs. Your driver, fairways, hybrids,
Right.
your wedges, and your putter, because we want them to go out and experience the system.
Right.
I know darn well that the irons themselves will make them a better golfer. But now with the system and the data you get from the system, they will be a better golfer. They're going to make smarter decisions on the course. So just like with you with the clubs, right? Get the best clubs in the bag,
Right.
use the system, get smarter, play better golf.
Well, yeah, now part of this, like anything in life, it is assembling a culture and a group of people that are going to support you in whatever endeavor that you have. And, part of this for me is, I have 2 kids and I don't have any time to practice. And for me, it's finding also personalities to help support me as I go through this. So what I'm doing essentially is it's a recipe for failure or grandeur. Like I'm either going to figure out a home remedy to get better without having to go and beat 1,000 balls a day.
Yes.
Or I'm going to shoot 85 in the qualifier and this is all going to be a big sham, right? So I think what I'm going to gain from this, if I'm going to start from point A, I think ultimately what I'm going to gain is I'm going to figure out who I am a little bit through this thing. And, truth be told, it's a 12-part series. We're going to be presenting some videos. You're going to see the story a little bit on Instagram as I go through my journey. But, I'm excited to fail and I'm excited to succeed. And I think your app, the support of the team here, I couldn't have picked a better scenario to do this. And obviously I have a huge platform, Golf WX is a huge platform. So, hanging my balls out there quite a bit.
We are really proud to be with you on the quest, okay? But here's the other deal. Don't be so hard on yourself. Because in that day, you might shoot 85. But I darn near, okay, that's just reality, right?
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, between now and then, you are going to become a better golfer. You're going to become more aware of your game, more aware of your equipment. You're going to be smarter. You're going to be a better golfer. Right?
I believe so.
Don't hang everything on that moment, okay?
20% of my ego will, yeah.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
So that's kind of what's happening here. So the preceding, the videos that will follow here is going to be me working on drills at home, getting my equipment tuned up to the right point. I'm going to be interacting with some of Cobra Golf's social media influencers like Brian LaRoche. I'm going to be doing some stuff with him, and just kind of putting myself out there playing, doing some video logs. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited to go on the journey with you guys.
So are we.
And the tournament's in July, so we got about 5 months to do this thing. So we'll see where we land in about 5 months, and I'm excited.
You're going to be just fine. Good luck.
Thanks, Yax.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Take care, Johnny.
It's Johnny Wonder, GolfWRX.com, quest to qualify. We're out of here.